All right, this is page 97 of the Incredibles book. So we're in numbers 5 and 6. It says find the slope of the graph of the function at the given point. So all we want is the slope. Well, so that means we could just take the derivative. So we're going to take the derivative here. So it's f prime of, ooh, that's a big long prime. Well, maybe it's a parentheses. There's the prime. All right. Derivative sine is cosine, so it's 4 cosine theta. And theta is my variable, so the derivative of theta is 1. It's like the derivative of x. Right? If I had y equals x, the derivative of that is 1. Same thing here. It's a derivative of theta, or it's minus theta, so it's minus 1 is the derivative. Plug in the 0. So what is f prime of 0? So that's a 0. That's a theta. So it's 4 cosine of 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. So it's 4 times 1 minus 1 is 4 minus 1, which is 3. Moving on to 6. Right, so this is the answer. It's only asking for the slope. So, if they're going to be picky about it, it's f prime of 0 equals 3. There's our answer. All right. And here, take the derivative first. Well, the derivative is the same thing. So f prime of x is the same thing. Right, e to the x, derivative e to the x is e to the x. The 3/4 comes from the ride. Plug in 0 into that expression. So it's f prime of 0 equals 3/4 e to the 0. And remember, e to the 0 power, or anything to the 0 power, is just 1. So it's 3/4 times 1, which is just 3/4. And that is what f prime of 0 is, or what is slope at that point. Number 7, we are doing write the equation of a tangent line to the graph of the function at the given point. So we want the tangent line, equation of the tangent line. All right, so we work this out. So we need a derivative. Derivative of x is 1. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. Plug in the 0. 1 plus e to the 0. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. So that means the slope is 2. And then I'm going to use this form of the equation of a line. This is the point slope form of the equation of a line. Y sub 1 and x sub 1 are going to be numbers. M is a number. Y and x are going to be variables that stays within the problem. So it's y minus 1 equals 2. 2 is the slope. X minus 0. Technically, that's enough. So I'm going to leave it alone, right? It's up to your teacher how much he or she wants that simplified. Since I'm your teacher, I don't care. Leave it alone. All right. Here. By the way, though, it's not a bad practice for algebraic manipulation, symbol manipulation, to try to simplify that correctly. For those of you doing that, pause it, and I'm going to go ahead and simplify it. Pause the video, and then you could see if we get the same answer. All right, there it is. That's the... You try to figure it out. Or, if I'm wrong, just tell me in the comments that I'm wrong. All right. All right, let's take the derivative here. G prime of t equals, derivative sine is cosine. Half of derivative of half et is just half et. I'm probably saying it wrong. All right, plug in the pi. Oh, crack. All right, so plug in the pi. G prime of pi. Cosine of pi. Half e to the pi. Well, cosine of pi is -1, so it's -1 plus 1/2 e to the pi. Oh, joy. All right. So this kind of suggests that this is going to clean up really weird. So you plug it in, so it's y minus the y value, so it's 1 minus 1/2 e pi. E to the pi equals the slope, which is this mess, -1 plus 1/2 e to the pi times x minus pi. So that is the equation of the line. Okay, so you could try to clean that up. The way this is written, it suggests that it should clean up. No, it doesn't. It does not clean up. I'll clean it up anyways for, I don't know. So pause the video, see if you can clean this up to the extent I do. My goal is to have it in the y equals blah form, right? I wanted to solve for y and clean this up a little bit. All right, so you could stop, but I am going to go through the places. So leave this alone for now. If I were to distribute, I really don't want to do this. -1 plus half e pi x minus that times that. So it'd be minus or plus pi over 2e to the pi. Oh, this doesn't clean up at all. So you add half e pi to that, and that doesn't clean up. So that was not worth it. This is just not a pretty problem. So what is that? So it's pi plus pi over 2e pi plus half e pi. Nothing simplifies. Yuck. You might be able to factor something out, but I'm tired of working it. All right. So yeah. So by the way, a legit answer would have been this one up here. If you're taking an AP test, don't go beyond that. Don't clean that up. Leave that as an answer. That's a perfectly good answer. All right. Determine the points, if any, at which the graph has a horizontal tangent line. All right. So horizontal tangent line, that means the slope is 0. So to get the slope, we take the derivative equal to 0. So it's -4 plus e to the x. When is that equal to 0? So it's -4 plus e to the x equal to 0, which is e to the x equals 4. Remember, whenever you're solving equations with a variable in the exponent, you're going to take the natural log of both sides, right? Natural log and e cancel each other out, so you just have x equals natural log of 4, and that is our answer. Right. Let's do the same thing for 10. Take the derivative. So that's 1 plus cosine x. And since we want a horizontal tangent line, we want to know when is that equal to 0. You are limited to that range of values. So it's cosine x equals -1. When is cosine equal to -1 on that interval? And that would be, where is that? Oh, pi. So x is pi. That's it. All right. Moving on. Let's go on to 11. Calculate the average rate of change of the function on the interval 1 to 2. All right, so that means we just got to find f of 1, which is 3 plus 5, which is 3 plus 5, which is 8, and f of 2, which is 3 times 2 plus 5, which is 11. So we're just going to, so the average velocity or average rate of change is f of 2 minus f of 1 over 2 minus 1, which is 11 minus 8 over 2 minus 1, which is 3. That's it. Calculate the instantaneous rate of change of the function at t equals 1. So we take the derivative, f prime of t equals 3. Well, so that means it doesn't matter what t is. So f prime of 1 equals 3. Which kind of makes sense. The slope is 3 the whole time, right? So average slope will still be 3 because the slope is 3 the whole time. So for that question, it's kind of trivial, but that's the process. Let's go through number 12. So we're looking for the average rate of change from 1 to 4. So find f of 1. So that's going to be 3 square root of 1 is 1 minus 2 plus 1. That's 2. And then plug in 4. So that's 3 square root of 4 minus 2 times 4 plus 1. That's 6, right? Square root of 4 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 8 is -2 plus 1 is -1. So we have what values? So we're going to do, so the average will be f of 4, average slope, that is f of 4 minus f of 1 over 4 minus 1. F of 4 is -1. F of 1 is 2. So So that's negative 3 over positive 3. So average slope is, oops, sorry, let's see that. Average slope is negative 1. Right? So I did f of 4 minus f of 1 over 4 minus 1. That's negative 1 and minus 2 over that. So it turns out to be negative 1. That's it. Sorry about that. I'll probably make the same mistake, so sorry. Let's see if I could show it up some more. All right. Instantaneous rate of change, so we need a derivative. So first I'm going to do a rewrite. So I'm rewriting this function. So that's 3t to the half minus 2t plus 1. Right? I write it in exponential form, so I can use power rule. F prime of t is 3 halves t to the negative 1 half minus 2. Derivative of 1 is 0, so that goes away. So repeat. I bring down the half. 1 half times 3 is 3 halves. And then 1 half minus 1 is negative 1 half. Okay. All right, and then we plug in the 3. So f prime of 3 equals 3 halves. And this is where you probably should rewrite this with positive exponents. Well, I didn't do that, so I'll do that in a second, though. All right. So that's going to be 3 over 2 times 3 to the 1 half. Okay, so what happened there, I had a negative exponent on the t. It goes into the denominator. Now 3 over 3 to the half is just 3 to the half, or just square root of 3 over 2 minus 2. Right, this is 3 to the 1. Remember, you subtract exponents. Well, 1 minus a half is a half. So it's just 3 to the 1 half in the numerator. 3 to the 1 half in the numerator is the same as square root of 3. So that's it. That's the answer. All right, that's page 97, and that's it for today.